views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Astral Insider Show, your portal for adventure, insight, and growth with host Fernando Albert. Fernando, world-renowned lucid dreamer, astral projectionist, psychic medium, brings his passionate energy healing to the airwaves on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As a vessel for spirit to provide all the information you need, Fernando opens the portal for your personal transformation as you join him on this incredible journey within the greatness of the astral plane. Receive answers to many of life's questions, remove roadblocks, and tour the astral realm. This show expands your life in ways you've never imagined. Listeners, get ready for a keen soul exploration and the journey of your life. Now here is your host, Fernando Albert.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Astral Insider. So, how are those astral travels going? How are you guys getting into it? We are going to be talking about lots of interesting things today, such as the Akashic Records, a very interesting place to visit, such as having, as always, a little reminder from our prayer shows. As you know, all the shows are on the second and fourth Monday of every month. And you always can find me at Fernando.space. In fact, you can join my newsletter and get yourself an awesome free guided meditation that will help you to balance and empower your chakras. Since I've been sharing with you guys that having a balanced and clear chakra system is essential for a good astral projection experience, this meditation already will be one tool that will definitely help you out. So in our last show, we've been talking a lot about the partial astral separations. This is something that you guys sometimes come to me and share like, hey, I find myself maybe sitting on the bed, or maybe I cannot remove one arm from my physical body and you're like stuck, like glued in there. We've been sharing that this is part of the process. It's normal. And we are going to be talking deeper today about how you can avoid these situations or how you can easier get to move on from these partial astral separations, because that's what they all are. They are just a stage. They are just the same stage that you go when you are separating the vibrations, the sleep paralysis. This is the same. You start to separate, and at first you may not be able to completely separate. We've been talking also about the astral blindness, sometimes not being able to see anything, or maybe not being able to move, which I like to call it astral paralysis. These are phases that are normal in the beginning stages. But you're going to notice that the more you practice, the more you keep going, the easier it's going to become for you, and the less these stages are going to be repeating for you. We also were talking about setting good intentions to add to your life, to improve your astral travels. For an instance, trying to have a little bit more of a mindfulness, trying to be more relaxed, trying to not stress about everything in life, to find moments of stillness, moments of relaxation, moments that are for yourself, where you step off this world for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you have time to dedicate to yourself. This is something very important, as well as having a clear chakra system, to be able to do some daily meditation, which is why that meditation can help you guys a lot already. And also to have some awareness throughout the day, trying to have some focus. Maybe you are expecting this awesome new movie that is going to be launched during the weekend. And maybe throughout the week, you are waiting, oh, this weekend, I wonder what's going to happen with this guy and this situation. And you're excited and you get to think about the movie, you get to anticipate. That's something important for astral projection, to add anticipation to it. And when you start seeing progress, that anticipation will grow and allow it to grow. And when you find yourself a little bit dismotivated for whatever reason, then you can go back to those moments where you felt more empowered, where you had your leaps forward of progress. Because something I remind in every single show, every person can astral project easily. In fact, one very easy way for those who are having a harder time to go through the actual induction process is through a lucid dream. In prior shows, we have talked about lucid dreams also. In fact, in the prior show, we have been talking a little bit about the difference between lucid dreaming and astral projection, even though we didn't get to go very deep with that. However, the main piece of information, you did receive it, and I will repeat it to you. You are going to notice the first time you get to astral project that it feels way different than a lucid dream, because that's the main difference, how it feels, how you perceive the universe that it's surrounding you. When you are in your mind, when you are in your dreams, it's something that you create. And while it doesn't feel like when you're at home, at a certain degree, it will always get you a feeling of this is part of me. But in the astral, you are going to notice much greater that you are a fragment of something greater, of something much larger, something called oneness, for an instance. And we are going to talk about this in the next show, okay, which will be on February 11th. Now, what I want to share is the fact that when you focus on astral traveling throughout the day, you are going to be able to gain more, the same as it happens with lucid dreams. And when you find yourself in a lucid dream, when you say, oh, I am dreaming, you can go ahead and set the intention to astral project from this lucid dream. You can even ask for help. And we have been talking about this, about different possibilities to jump from a lucid dream into the astral. You can listen to the prayer shows. Again, you can download them also at Fernando.space. Now, another struggle, it's the lack of progress. Some people says, I don't get to progress. I don't get to move forward. First of all, we are very spoiled here at the Western civilization. All of us. No one is free from there. Even myself, we all are. Why? Because we want to get to do these things as soon as possible because they are awesome, and of course, we want them now. That's at some degree what, fortunately or unfortunately, we are used to. Probably many, many years ago, it's a fact actually, that 100, 200, 300 years ago, you had to put a lot more discipline into everything, into even getting a nice experience out of a simple guided meditation. Even something as simple as that, it was more difficult. One of the reasons is because the vibrations of the planet were not as high as they are now, and they are increasing. This is why it's becoming easier for us, and the interest on this topic, it's spreading everywhere. But we need to remind that there are some things that they just need to take time. You cannot expect to have the emotion and the thrill in a chess game, maybe, that you are going to have in the Super Bowl, because it's a totally different sport. The same thing goes with this. Maybe you can manage to learn astral projection right away, and that means that you are a natural, and it's fantastic. Some people can do that. But if you take some time and there are some bumps on the road, what matters the most is that you are following through and that you are working with your own progress and following your own hobby. Let's say that you like to play some collectible cards. At first, you're going to be really bad, and you're going to have lousy cards and you're going to be clueless. But when you get to play, when you get to meet with people, when you get to practice, you get to learn. You include more powerful cards, and then it becomes better, and the play thing becomes more interesting for you. The same goes with astral projection. The more you practice it, the more interesting it's going to become for you. The more amazing and the easier. This is why dedication, it's very important, like you would do to any other hobby, okay? So remember, in spare times, okay, even when you are falling asleep or maybe when you are waiting in line, it doesn't matter. Spare times that you have, maybe that you can spend 1 minute in trying to do the mind silencing exercise. It's going to be fantastic, trying to clear your mind from thoughts or trying to just focus on your breathing, okay? Then you can also use small meditation sessions to work on different areas of your body. We are going to talk also about this in the next show, about having some struggle to relax an area of your body, okay? But for now, something I can share with you, it's that when you notice that, for an instance, your right foot, you cannot relax it, then instead of trying to relax your entire body all at once, try to do some additional exercises to be able to work on relaxing just your foot, okay? And when you get to relax it, then you can progress with the next areas of your body that give you a hard time, or if that's the only one, then you got it. You can go ahead for a full body relaxation, okay? Very important to focus on this body area that you want to and try to perceive it until you don't perceive it. Like you feel that it's so relaxed that it is almost, like you almost don't feel it. Those of you who have practiced some degree of relaxation already know how this feels. Even in the entire body, you might have felt it. For astral projection, you need it, of course. So with this, you also will be able to learn it. When you see that, oh, my arm feels so heavy, I cannot move it, then it's when it's in a deep state of relaxation. This is something that with practice, you're going to know, and it's going to be easier for you to be aware. And also, as a good reminder, you can help yourself by getting a good incense that you use only for astral projection, or maybe a special mat that you use only for astral projection. That way, you are going to be able to set a proper mindset before you get into it, okay? Now, when we come back from the break, we are going to be talking about something very interesting connected to the astral plane, which is the Akashic records. But that will happen once we are back from a little break.
How to achieve wellness in all areas of your life? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Signs of wellness are a capacity to love and ability to nurture, a sense of purpose, a good sense of humor and plenty of fun in your life, a concern for others and a respect for the environment, a conscious commitment to personal excellence, a sense of balance and integrated lifestyle, and capacity to cope with whatever life presents. Well, people enjoy their lives and want them to last as long as possible. That's why the wellness mindset usually accompanies other constructive, healthy lifestyle habits. By adopting a wellness mindset and behaviors like eating well, taking the right nutrition for the body, exercising, and saying affirmations are just a few things to structure a healthy system of values and beliefs. I will be your wellness coach to help you achieve a wellness lifestyle. Call us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at MaryJaneMack.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Are you new to playing with the law of attraction or a seasoned pro looking for an easy and organized way to monitor your co-creation endeavors as you draw them from the immaterial planes into your physical reality? Then join me over at golden.otter.us for bi-monthly new and full moon rituals where we plant seeds of intention, then harvest the fruits of our desires as part of a dynamic community in the members-only Lunar Manifestations Forum. I'm Autumn Seibel, host of Golden Otter Radio, where the metaphysical meets the mainstream, and I can't wait to meet you.
If you've ever had a broken heart, you know how painful that can be, and how long it can sometimes take to heal it. I'm Megan Edge, author of The Heart's Journey, Healing Hearts, Oracle Cards, and Guidebook, published with Balboa Press and Hay House. In The Heart's Journey, I share with you my own heartbreak and how I healed it through the beautiful hearts that found me in nature. From taking photographs of these hearts for myself, I've created this beautiful toolkit, which includes the guidebook, which has my story, how to work with oracle cards as a healing tool, and the story of each of these hearts as they cross my path. I've also created a beautiful journal. There's a pen, a bookmark, and of course, the 42 Healing Hearts Oracle cards. You can order The Heart's Journey, Healing Hearts, Oracle Cards, and Guidebook through my website, meganedge.ca, through Balboa Press, Amazon, and many other places online or your local shops. I look forward to hearing about your heart's healing.
Welcome back to the Astral Insider. And we were talking about adding to your own astral routine some additional aids, like I was mentioning, using a special incense or maybe a special mat for astral projection will be very helpful for you. Maybe doing something ritualistic before, maybe even playing a very soft piece of music, instrumental please, or anything that relates nice to you. Maybe you want to use white noise. Maybe you want to have the window open. You need to realize that there is not a specific ruling in terms of how to get out. What it matters is that you manage to get your physical body in a state of complete relaxation and your mind is out of any thoughts other than leaving your body. And as I said, with practice, you will become a champ. Now, we are going to be talking about a very interesting thing connected to the Astral Plane, which is the Akashic Records. I am sure that many of you have heard about the Akashic Records, but for those of you who haven't, let me explain it to you. Visualize the Akashic Records like a large library that holds all the information of your life, but kind of like much more pro than a regular library, because this library gets to fill up as you go through life, and everything is recorded in there. Your emotions, the connections that you have made with others, your life experiences, your life lessons. The Akashic Records can be accessed and they can be read by a few different ways. One way, of course, it can be done through a reading, something that I do on a daily basis. You can also get to connect with your very own Akashic Records through experiencing them in a guided meditation, which, by the way, you can find also available at my site. If you go to Fernando.space, you can head over to the meditations and you can find a guided meditation that will help you to connect with your own Akashic Records. But the goal in this show is to explore this, to do this in the Astral Plane. And of course, you can access the Akashic Records through Astral Projection. In fact, maybe you will find online that until you don't access them in the Astral Plane, you won't be able to access them at all. That I don't believe it to be true. However, there is a fraction of truth in that. And at least based on my own experience and what I have learned from the experience of others, when you, in quotes, physically visit the Akashic Records, it's like your connection with them grows larger. It's like you become more connected to them. You know, when you buy a new car and you drive it and you get used to driving that car, to how it feels, how it brakes, everything. In the Astral, it gets to be the same. So it does in the Akashic Records. The more you visit your Akashic records, the more used you're going to get to them. And when you manage to visit to them through astral projection, it can be quite amazing. I will share with you how it's quite easy, in fact, okay? And you can also visit them through your dreams. Even though in here I would be a little cautious, since you may be visiting a dream version of your Akashic records. But to ensure that you visit your actual Akashic records, if you are not channeling them, if you are not getting a reading, if you want to visit them yourself in first person, then you gotta do it through the astral plane, through astral projection. You know, everything holds Akashic records. You have your own Akashic records. Your home holds its own Akashic records. Your animal companions have Akashic records. Your television, the device you are listening this show, has its own Akashic records, and those always can be accessed, okay? They can always be accessed. They have felt different for me. When you access different types of Akashic records, generally with people, they show to me in one way, and I will share with you later, guys. Then when I get to connect with the Akashic records of an apartment, it feels different, or an animal, which it feels closer to a human, but they are slightly different, or even the Akashic records from a crystal, okay? They all feel different, and they are symbolic and unique in their own way. And we are soon going to be talking how to actually visit them. And you're going to realize that your Akashic records will appear unique to you, okay? They don't have to look like the way I might describe them to you, or they might not look the way that you will see online, or maybe some random movie in the future may describe for you. They will show in a way that it's perfect and unique for you. Generally, they show like libraries, but they may show as a desk with a computer, with a book. It may even show like a smartphone or like a iPad. It can show like something like that. You know, like whatever is familiar to you, it doesn't matter. Whatever symbolizes you, your Akashic records are going to be shown in that way, in a way that it's comfortable for you. This is the key, okay? The way it's comfortable for you to get your information. And maybe you are confused thinking, oh, okay, well, I have no idea. Don't worry, because your soul knows, and you at a conscious level know. And when you get to jump into the astral plane and then go and visit the Akashic, you are going to see them in a way that you will fully understand them. It may be yourself going to a counter and one of the masters of the records bringing you the information in a piece of paper or in a little book. It is perfect in every unique way because it's your way. You know, as I've been sharing, the Akashic records hold a lot of information about everything, you know. Every single person that you have met with in this lifetime, for an instance, in the Akashic records, you can find out if you have connected with those people in past lives. You can find the significance of a connection, or maybe the reason of a life pattern that you have to deal with. You can find information such as your own karma, your life purpose, your soul origin, many, many things, okay? In fact, the Akashic records, sometimes they are good, you know, either for quick consultations or for deep consultations. You know, it's like it is what it is. It's a library that you access to consult for information. The nice thing is that they hold information about everything. And another nice way is that you will receive information in a way that it's more natural for you. Some people, for instance me, receive it mostly in terms of visions, in terms of clairvoyance, seeing things, seeing like a movie in your mind's eye. If you are in the astral, then it gets more intense, and we're going to be talking about that shortly. But when you are in the astral plane and in the Akashic records, you may either see it in first person or still see it like a movie. It's a little hard to describe, and I do sense also that it happens different for many, many people. The good things for you to know is that when you desire to receive any degree of information from your Akashic records, if you are ready to receive that information, then you will receive it. And we are going to be talking about this very soon. But I want you to understand that when you visit your Akashic records for the first time, most likely you are going to already get a very deep feeling of them, okay? A very deep feeling of how they are. It's like getting to know someone. Maybe the first day you talk to that person, you want to get to know more that person, and you spend hours talking. It feels something similar, okay? You're going to realize that accessing your Akashic records, you are not only going to be able to help yourself, but you are also going to be able to help others with their permission, of course, and this already goes a little deeper, which I will share. However, you really are going to find that this is a huge pool of knowledge that can assist you in life, can help you understand yourself much better or understand the reason of things. And something I can personally share, when you get to visit the Akashic records, in person, in your astral body, it can be quite intense, really intense, much more than when you get to channel it, because when you get to channel it, it's like you're watching a movie. But if you are in the, sometimes you get to live it. And if you don't live it, you experience it with so much emotion and so much intensity that it will feel very unique and very, very powerful for you, okay? So now we are going to be talking about visiting the Akashic records. This is going to be happening right after our break, so stay tuned.
Are you tired of being tired? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know the adrenal glands, the workhorse of the body? They are the means by which you position yourself in life for whatever comes your way. Tiny but mighty, producing hormones the body uses to promote energy and vitality. These adrenals determine how you respond to stress, and when depleted, the body loses its ability to function powerfully when we need it most. The much-needed adrenaline or epinephrine is not available for emergency situations. Cortisone and cortisol, the longer-acting anti-stress adrenal hormones, can also become depleted due to the pace of our everyday lives. We overwork, and undernutrition, our most powerful ally that helps us to live the lives we desire. We are able to determine the optimum function of the adrenals and put your system back in balance. Contact us today to feel powerfully energized at 888-777-4232 or visit us at maryjanemack.com.
Are you ready to create a life you'll really love? Then you'll want to tune in to the hit show Life Design Radio, From Adversity to Awesome with Susan DiLorenzo, live each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com. No matter where you are in your adversity story, Life Design Radio has got you covered. Get ready to feel inspired, enlightened, and motivated. For more information about working with Susan, visit SusanDiLorenzo.com.
Ignite your inner magic on Grow Your Soul Radio with Jane Matanga. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Jane Matanga explores how to overcome your fears to help you gain the inspiration you need to awaken your path to joy. Learn the way to life mastery and the enlightened path with Grow Your Soul Radio. For more information on Jane Matanga and her work, visit enlightened-path.com.
To find answers to life's questions, you need to look within yourself. Dr. Glenna Rice brings your questionable conversations on Transformation Talk Radio each month. Tune in each month for insight into how you can live up to your full potential. Dr. Glenna is a physical therapist, certified Access Consciousness, and Access Body Class Facilitator. How does it get any better than this? For more information on Dr. Glenna Rice and her work, visit glennarice.com.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Astral Insider. So what are you guys thinking about the Akashic Records? They are really quite interesting. And, right now I've been sharing with you quickly about them. But when you delve deeper into exploring them, whether it's through reading more about them or to exploring them by visiting them, which we are going to be talking right now, you are going to feel they are quite awesome to explore. If you wanted to read more about the Akashic Records, you can head over to Fernando.space and you can find there lots of log entries about the Akashic Records, in addition of plenty more about Astral Projection, lucid dreaming, and more. So, now let's visit the Akashic Records through Astral Projection. The first step, as with everything, it's for you to set an intention, to have some planning, okay? I share with you guys that in order to get the most out of an astral projection visit, it's for you to set intentions before you get out of your body, okay? Sort of saying, okay, so for this astral journey, I want to go ahead and connect with my guides. That, as you know from prior shows, you can do that. Or I want to visit the Akashic Records. Or I want to go to Mars. Okay, fine, perfect. But you want to set some intention before you come out. Why? Because it makes everything easier. You may have a spontaneous projection and you will go out with no intentions. Or you may wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and feel like astral traveling and you just go for it without even thinking about it. Fine, you will get to the Astral Plane and you will have enough consciousness and awareness to be able to decide where to go. However, when you have a map or when you have a GPS, more in modern times, you get there faster, or at least you're supposed to. In this way, you always get faster, okay? Because when you have an intention, you already have that energy within you. To completely understand the nature of the astral plane, I believe it's too large for our tiny human brains. However, imagine like a giant XYZ grid. And when you get to project, if you go without no intention, you appear in one random pixel in that XYZ grid. Then to move throughout the grid, as you know, with imagination, visualization, you get to make it. I want to get to Mars. Boom, you are there. I want to get to the Akashic Records. Boom, you are there. Okay, is that simple. But at first, it could be a little more tricky for you to do these jumps because already you're going to be excited enough to be out of your body. And while you are not going to forget everything, you will feel that the amount of bliss fills up your heart so much that it may defocus you from initial intentions or defocus you from thinking of anything at all during this astral experience. And you may feel so plentiful that you will be happy, you will be content by just sitting there and flowing there in doing nothing, because astral projection is so great that even staying still in the astral, it feels magnificent. So, but if you want to visit the Akashic Records, this is not the right thing to do, right? Because that's not visiting the Akasha. So you need to set your intentions, because especially for those of you who are starting, you're going to have it easier to go to the Akashic records, because when you set intentions, also you can call in your spirit guides. As you know, you can meet with your spirit guides in the astral plane. And some of you that maybe have had exited your body once or twice, but still haven't been able to find complete stability in the astral plane, you know that it takes some astral muscle to do, okay? And those of you who are more experienced, you notice that you still need to keep a certain degree of focus in order to not lose the projection, or to not become, to not lose your awareness, okay? So the best way for you is to already pre-program your energy to be of those that matches the vibrations of the Akashic records. Because in this XYZ grid, there are no directions, there are no addresses, there are no streets. However, things organize, things do settle based on the vibrations. Like air, hot air, cold air, how it distributes. And when they clash, it becomes a storm. In the astral, there is really no such thing as storms, because they will just, organize like oil and water. Lower vibrations and then higher vibrations. And the higher you go, the stronger the vibrations are. In fact, in the next show, we are going to be talking about different planes of existences and even how to reach them. So since it's a matter of vibrations, think that everything has a vibrational address. The Akashic records, how to get there, to focus on them, to set the intention in your heart. The best moment to do this, it's when you are in the separation process. You are with your physical body relaxed, your mind clear of thoughts, you feel the vibrations, maybe you are having some scary noise or seeing weird stuff, it's the sleep paralysis, nothing to worry about. And then it gets to a point that okay, now it's when I can pull or push. Doesn't matter how you feel it or see it, but it's not going to snap it out and leave the body. When you are going to do that, as you say, okay, separation technique, hanging rope or rolling over the bed or whatever, as you are doing your final separation technique, you want to visualize in the Akashic records and try to feel them in your heart, okay? When you picture the Akashic records, don't picture it in your mind. Try to feel them in your heart. It might be a little bit difficult, okay? But if you are having a hard time to visualize that, which, by the way, it will be much easier in that state of trance. But if you want to make some pre-visualizations throughout the day, that always helps. You can just imagine that you're going to a place that you're very excited because you're going to have a very good result out from that visit, okay? Like, oh gosh, I'm so happy to go to the Space Museum because I'm going to learn a ton of things and it's going to blow my mind, I'm sure. I am sure that you can recall a good feeling in your heart and you can replace a Space Museum for whatever you love, okay? Then use that emotion to take it with you, but setting the intentions to be with the Akashic records. That way you are going to match the vibrations of your soul with those of the Akashic records. Because, the Akashic records, you can perceive in many ways. Even, the universe itself has its own Akashic records. And, as redundant as it sounds, the actual Akashic records do have its own Akashic records, and that goes to the infinite. And, even there, that's a type of information that you could access because you can get to access not only your Akashic records, but the Akashic records of the universe and many more things. Now, other things for you to comprehend it when you come back to your physical body. This is why it's very important to write everything down as it comes to you and as you experience it. Because if something is very hard to comprehend, but you at least bring a fragment from it and you take to write it down, you at least are going to have something awesome and something that will blow your mind. And who knows? There has been many breakthroughs in terms of science and discovery out from astral projections, out from, visiting Akashic records, and out from channeled work. Science doesn't agree with many of these things, but they nurture out of them, because indeed, there has been a lot of writers, for instance, that have felt inspired out from their astral trips, artists, anyone. So I am pretty sure that inventors also, even though it's said everywhere that it is a fact. It can be proved anywhere, but, it is a fact, and it is something that really makes powerful the astral visits, because you may not discover something crazy, but you may find a personal breakthrough for your life, for your own business, something that you would have never thought about. Or maybe you have an experience in your Akashic records, okay? And you see yourself in a past life where you used to do something that you were very good at. And you think, oh, wow, this life I'm horrible with that. But I'm going to try it just in case, just to joke about it, And then maybe you happen to be really good at it and you have a breakthrough, or you are already doing something and you can be very good at it. This is why, while artists and others have experienced progress thanks to their astral journeys, I am pretty sure that also scientists, explorers of any degree, it's pretty awesome. So when you get to visit the Akashic records, you want to set the intention to focus on their vibrations. And once you are there, it feels to me that you will know it and you will feel happy and joyful, okay? You will feel happy and joyful because you are there already. And I'm going to share with you what can you do next, okay? But the first time that you get there, it is significant and it is important for you to know that you will receive a lot of insight, a lot of positive energies, and you are going to get a very good feeling about how the Akashic records feel. And I would advise for the first visit to the Akashic records for you to just stay in the energy, for you to ask no questions until you come back, okay? To just sit in there until you find yourself back in the body. Now, when we are going to go to a break, but when we are back, I'm going to share with you a little more of the things that you can do to get the most of your Akashic records. And if we have time, I'm going to briefly share how it went with my very first visits, okay? But that will happen right after the break, so stay tuned.
It's time to step into the power of yes. Creating the life you want is up to you. The power comes from saying yes to ourselves, yes to possibilities, and yes to change. Are you ready? Start achieving your goals and moving life in the direction you want. Tune in each month to Yes Minded Power Radio with Barbara Scheidegger to start living your future now. For more information about the show and working with Barbara, visit yesmindedpower.com.
This is Debbie Pokornik with a break-free parenting tip. Parenting will always be a bit of a mystery. Who knows why some parenting ideas work and others do not? Or why some kids seem to succeed despite family setbacks, while others have so much given to them and yet fail to thrive. The one thing we do know is that once you have a child, you'll never be quite the same again. Awe-inspiring emotions like overwhelming love, extreme guilt, intense frustration, and incredible joy make this job second to none. Breaking free of parenting pressures means recognizing the pieces that make us unique, the pieces that we carry with us from the past, and the pieces that are influenced by the society we live in. When we can pick and choose which pieces we want to keep around and change the others to align with our inner wisdom, we will feel more self-assured in our role as a parent.
For information and to work with Debbie, visit empoweringnrg.com.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on transformationtalkradio.com and visit jenniferzellup.com to thrive with Jen.
Darcy Pariso is your connection to spirit, energy, and healing. You can meet Darcy in person at upcoming events throughout Seattle. Do you have questions about your animal companions, yourself, or do you desire to communicate with loved ones on the other side? Darcy will connect you and get answers. Darcy can also work with energy healing to help you and your animal companions feel more balanced and recharged. Visit darcypariso.com/events. Golden Otter Divinations Radio, where the metaphysical meets the mainstream with Autumn Seibel. Tune in the first Friday every month at 9 a.m. Pacific as Autumn, educator, health coach, and medium, explores metaphysical and mainstream strategies on how to elevate your level of conscious living. Draw in the abundance that is yours by divine right. For more information about working with Autumn, visit goldenotter.us. That's golden like the precious metal and otter like the precious animal.us.
Welcome back to the Astral Insider. Well, we were talking about the Akashic Records and for you to get to visit them. And one simple way, it's during the separation process for you to focus on the desire of connecting with the Akashic Records, with your Akashic Records, and focusing on that good emotion that I shared with you before. The first time you get there, what you want to do is to not ask questions, okay? When you get the first time to a place, you want to get the most out of it. Observation, it's important. We are visual creatures, so you want to get a full sense of your Akashic Records. Maybe it's just a wooden table with a book. Hey, it's perfect. But make sure to look at the details, if any, of the table, of the book, how it feels. Most likely you will be able to describe some degree of surrounding, some degree of building or something greater that it's surrounding all of this. Maybe, as I said, you see a table with a book and everything else is black. Okay, that's perfect. But still, it will feel like you are inside a room or inside something greater, a greater energy. What is important for you is to spend quality time by observing how it does look for you, okay? Make sure to mentally describe everything as you see it. In fact, you want to put yourself some checkpoints that will allow you to recall them faster, recall them easier. We are going to talk about this in future shows that will help for you recall, for you to use checkpoints and say, okay, so for an instance, when I got there, I felt that there was a great hall, that it was very, very large and very long, Then you want to memorize, okay, the hall, I have to remember it. Then maybe you see these giant doors, wooden doors, and you cross them and they open up, and you want to put as the second checkpoint the doors. And then you are there, and maybe there is this giant computer and a keyboard and a giant screen. Okay, and you say, okay, computer, screen, and like that, like trying to find key points that will help you to recall it easier. And since you are going to be asking no questions for the first visit, you are only going to have to get the sense of everything that surrounds you, including the energy. And if you say that you cannot perceive energy in your day-to-day life, don't worry, because in the astral plane you can. Everybody can, okay? It's as natural as opening your eyes. Yes, that in the astral plane, your eyes are much more open than this one, symbolically speaking, of course. So you get to feel the energy. You're going to feel it in your heart most likely. So you will focus on that and you will try to recall that memory. Why? Because the next time you want to go into the Akashic records, you want to visualize with this emotion. Do you remember when I shared in earlier shows that it was very good to focus on the astral sensations in order to astral project the astral sensations which equal to that feeling that you have when you are out in your astral body, to use that memory, that feeling to project faster and easier the next time. The same goes for the Akasha, okay, for the Akashic records. You may want to focus on how the energy of your Akashic records feel for you to clearly visualize it. And then the next time it's going to be much easier for you to visit them. Now, let's say you have a question, okay? You want to have that question clearly before you astral project. In fact, maybe you want to even write it down, okay? Then go do your astral projection, separate from your physical body, set the intention to go to the Akashic records, and then start focusing on your question, okay? Focus on the records first. And when you are there, you can also focus on your spirit guides, on the masters of the records, or maybe if the answer just comes to you. It will really depend, and you will get to know it when you experience it the first time. However, it's going to be very easy because you're going to be knowing what to do. Most likely, it's going to be more passive than active. You know, in my end, for an instance, it's a giant library, okay? And the action I have to take is, and that was at first, you know, it gets to a point that you don't even do that. But at first, I would visualize myself entering this library and sitting down in a table. And then there was always the right book there, okay? Because I knew that the masters of the records would pull out the right book from wherever it is, in quotes, in this library, and bring it to me. There's always going to be a symbolic mechanism that will allow you to get to see and perceive the answer for your question, you know. And great questions to ask for you to get started, for an instance, are those of your soul origin, or maybe your life purpose, or maybe you have something nagging your mind. You want to go ahead and visualize the reasons for that, or even the solutions, because you can also bring solution to your needs, to the issue, or maybe to the new research or whatever that you are bringing forth in your Akashic records. You are going to be, you know, fulfilled with the answer you received. What is important, especially when you are in the astral plane, is that once you're answered, you want to find gratitude. You want to focus on gratitude in your heart as much as you can, and start to focus on your physical body, okay? Start to focus on your physical body because you want to return to it in order to write down everything. You want to write down everything that you have experienced, all the answers, all the perceptions, literally everything. Don't continue with your astral projection, even if you feel that your batteries are full. Go back to your body, write down the answers you receive, and if you want, then you can go back up, okay? But don't gamble with these memories because they are going to flee away from you if you don't try to materialize them in the physical plane through writing or voice recording as fast as you can. And, you know, for you to have a bit of an experience, I will quickly share with you, before we are done, about my experience. I first, many years ago, visited the Akashic records through dreams. And there is no time for me to share the entire dream. But let's say that once I got there, at first, it was somehow like one of these video games, one of these Zelda video games, you know. There were statues and I had to move them. It was very freaky dream stuff. But once I done that, it's like a book did pop out of nowhere with a peculiar noise. And then one of my dream guides appeared and said, well, this is a dream version of your Akashic records, but you have unlocked the energy. Now you have to astral project in order to come here to read the real ones and to be able to read them. And I was quite amazed. And not in that dream, but a few days later, I did project and went to the Akashic Records. And it's when I saw this huge library, that you open this double wooden door and you see a carpeted floor and you see staircases from the left and the right going down. And then you can see like a tiny balcony, in front of you that are next to the stairs. And then like giant windows on the back. For an instance, the windows sometimes are open, they are closed. That has symbolism, especially when I read for others. You are going to find symbolism like this. And then there's this table right behind this balcony, but then you see that these staircases go all the way down, and it's all surrounded by books all the way up to the ceiling, surrounded by giant windows. And this is how they show to me, and it feels quite amazing, and things change depending how you are going to receive whatever information. So that's the best thing for you to do, to be able to discover how your Akashic records are, get plenty of sense of how they look and how they feel to you, and then start asking questions one at a time. So we are done for today. We are going to be talking next week about, in a couple of weeks, next show, which is the 11th of February. We are doing some questions and answers, as well as talking about oneness, reaching oneness, as well as higher planes of existence. So now it's time to get your astral hands dirty. Set aside some time every day, follow what you have learned today, and you will be out of your body and reading your Akashic records in no time. Meet you at the Astral Plane.
You've been listening to the Astral Insider Show with Fernando Albert. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you'll join us every second and fourth Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for this incredible hit show. As Fernando takes calls from listeners across the globe to open the portal for personal transformation on an incredible journey to discover an infinite world of curiosities and techniques. This amazing call-in show provides answers to many of life's questions from one of the best, Fernando Albert. For more information on Fernando and his work, or to book your session with him, visit FernandoAlbert.com or Fernando.space. Oh, and don't forget to listen to Fernando's past shows. That's FernandoAlbert.com.